Good morning and welcome to the intermediate series of Wild Goose Qigong, first 64, December 18th, 2020. Okay, so welcome. Thank you for continuing with me. I'm really glad to see everybody. It's really fun for me to do this and very valuable as well. Great way to reach out and connect, and a great way to keep my practice going and keep me learning as well. And I really enjoy sharing with people so they can benefit from it in their life, in your lives. One of the first things I want to come back to is basics. So the basics is the three first principles of Qigong. The first principle of Qigong is to practice. So practice, practice, practice. The old joke is the tourist is in New York City and stops somebody in the corner and asks how to get to Carnegie Hall. Happened to be asking a very famous violinist, and he said, practice, practice, practice. So, how do you get to health? Practice, practice, practice. How do you get to health hall? Second principle is to modify. So I think it was Deborah who brought up the question about her SI was hurting. Particularly in that last move second to last move where you're bending over and your heels are up. So modify means you always have to do the practice within your current limits, not at the limit, but below the limit, because you don't want to create tension, and you don't want to, maybe because of how you're moving or where you are that particular day, you push yourself past that limit, and then you create a problem, a little pull or a little stretch or a little injury or a little subluxation. So that's always true for all Qigong at all times. In this form, it does come from closer to India. It does come from high in the mountains originally, so there's more, it's kind of vigorous, there's more stretching, almost yoga-like, but not quite yoga-like. But you do that within your limits, within what's comfortable, what feels good, and that leaves you feeling refreshed and energized. Sometimes you do a little extra stretching, like when you're putting your arms back like this. You don't have to go all the way back. You can go out here. And then just think it. Just think from your palm to your side of your hip. You don't want to just create too much tension, and I do quite a bit there, but I could do more tension. Another one was thinking about, like when you're bending forward and doing a stretch on the back of the leg, on the back of the thigh, the hamstring. You don't go all the way down as far as you can go down. You let your body warm up to it and get used to it. Turning the same way, you don't turn 100%, you turn 80%, 70% as far as you can, like doing cloud hands. I could go this far and create tension in my back, or I could go this far and create stretch in my back, but not tension. And then I'll talk about these some more. I wanted to talk about that actually on open wings, spread wings on the very first one. Let's see. Anytime you're bending over, you don't have to bend as far. So just wherever you are. So you can do a soft form, you can do a gentle form, or you can do a more vigorous form. And so we have practice, we have modify, and then we have refine. Refine means you improve your skill over time. You work on placement, on focus, on how your movements are, and so it's basically mastering the movements. Mastering the internal, the external, how it looks, how it feels, what the rhythm of it is. So it's just, again, just practicing and going from white belt to, this is my karate metaphor, going from white belt to orange belt to green belt to brown belt to black belt apprentice to full black belt. And then after you get to full black belt, there's 10 levels of black belt. That's just my model there. And then you do your black belt 4 years, and your black belt starts to wear, and the black starts coming off. And eventually the black belt becomes a white belt, and you have beginner's mind again. And there is nothing except just doing the form. But in the meantime, like where I am, I'm focusing on a lot of details. I'm doing the same thing in my practice, my hands-on healing practice. For many, many years, I've been doing lots of training of lots of details, learning all kinds of anatomy and touch focus. And my perspective in the future is that eventually I'll get to the point where I just do, that there's not a name or a specific technique. I'm just engaging with whatever is in my presence. But now I'm training my presence in my hands and sinking in the knowledge. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's my long-term approach. So practice, modify, refine. So with that, I have one question. You can unmute for this. Would you like to start from the beginning right now after we warm up, or would you like me to go over part 4 again, the walking back and forth, and strengthen that? Because we did that just last, and I wasn't sure if people were, how strong they felt about their form. So just beginning or part 4?
Part 4.
Beginning
Part 4.
Or 4, beginning.
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 Part 4.
Can we start at the beginning and then work on part 4?
Okay. We'll start on doing the whole form, and then we'll start in the beginning. So warm up, whole form, real slow. Start at the beginning, see where we get. All right. Any questions before I move to the other camera? All right, here we go. Shaking the whole body. Breathing deeply. Just letting loose, letting go the tensions you might be feeling. Not that they're much, because I know you're very relaxed. But anything that's a little tighter. In one area maybe. Turning the waist. Nice, relaxed. Arm flapping. Your lungs will open a little more. Shoulders will get relaxed, and your arms will lengthen. Turning from the lower back. And chi shower. Happy slapping, happy tapping. I like to start with the abdomen, the center of things, and up to the chest, up the lungs and the heart, esophagus and thymus. Now we open the arms, inside first, soft side first. Working on the face. Head, back of the neck. And if you can reach comfortably, you get the back. Sacrum, coccyx, gluteal muscles, and the legs. Feet. Up. Up the legs. Get the top of the trapezius, top of the shoulder, down to the dantian. This goes to gallbladder 21, which sends qi down the body. And tap the dantian a little more. Shake out. Slow down your shaking. Relax your body. Spread wings. Close wings. Open the front, open the back. Hamstring stretch. Do twice on each side. Stretch up. Fingers entwined. Stretch down. Stretch up. Turn a little bit. Open those shoulders and rib cage. Center, stretch up, stretch down, or gently just relax down. Come up, turn, stretch up, stretch down, come up a little bit, down the side of the leg, up a little bit, down the side of the leg, come up, and relax. And warm up your shimmering. Practice your shimmering. Just any fun way you want to do it. Any fun way, any clever way, or non-clever. All right. So we'll do the whole form. I'll start with my back toward you. I might have to adjust a little bit in this room to stay on the screen, so you might see me look at the screen once in a while to see if I'm still on it. And we'll go slow. I'll say the names. If I miss one or two here or there, oh well, I'll do my best. Don't have them completely memorized yet. So, first we're just going to do the form and then we'll start from the beginning. Start with the feet together. Relaxing the body and the mind and the breath. Step out.
I'm starting my Qigong class, so I'll call you around 9. Okay.
Christopher, your mute's not on. Starting posture. Let's start over here in a minute. Do a mute all. So in the starting posture, opening, talk about it more in a minute. Spread wings. Close wings. Fold nest. Snap wings. Fold nest. Snap wings. Lift up. Join palms. Turn palms over. Bend over at waist. Keeping in mind where your body is today. Twine hands. Return chi. Snap. Flick left foot. Push chi. Scoop chi. Turn body and recover chi. Flick, right foot. Push chi. Scoop chi. Twine hands. Cloud hands. 1, 2, 3. Rinse, waist. Return chi, drop arm. Extend single wing. Step forward and extend arm. Wrap head, pass by ear. Press down, lift palm, return chi. Look at the moon. Well, let's skip the moon. Turn body. Step forward. Gaze at palm. Look at the moon. Press Qi. Turn body. Press Qi. Shimmering palms. Shimmering hands. Look down at the water. Flap water. Slap water and soar. Drink the water. 1, 2, 3. Gaze at the sky. Return Qi. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Grab Qi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn palms over and grasp Qi. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Embrace the ball. Press the ball. Knead the ball. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn body and knead the ball. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Back to center. 9, 10. Embrace Qi. Feel the hands connect. Hold for 10 seconds. Or thereabouts. Readjust your posture. Qi penetrates. 3 dantians. Raise the wings. Turn wings over. Wings to the back. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Begin to fly upward. Begin flapping to fly upward. Third step. Fourth step. 5, 6, 7. Turn body. Fly up. Soar over water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Turn around, fly up. Search for the food. 2. Tantien, bottom of foot. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Turn around. Search for the nest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your body and go to sleep. Harvest ritual. Feet together. Yin yang palms at the dantian. Okay. So everybody recognizes that? Starting to get familiar? Should look at the camera. So now we'll start at the beginning. Oh, but first, when you do things like you're on the back, if you can't reach the back, a modification is you go from where you can go. So you get some movement, you get some stretch, and your mind is focused in what you're rubbing with and what's being rubbed. So here we're rubbing right around the kidneys. Maybe you can't get there without strain. It's a little bit strainful for me, so you don't do it. Or on that last one, maybe going all the way down is just too much on your Achilles or your SI or your knees. Maybe on your toes is too much. You can be in your heels, and you can be right here. You still have the general idea. You're sinking in. You're gathering chi into the dantian. You're going to sleep. Return chi and sleep peacefully, it's called. All right. Talking about the preparation posture. When our feet are together. This is where we get ready for doing our practice, before we actually do movement. So before movement, there's stillness, and after movement, there's stillness. If we just go from the busy day right into the practice, we haven't really centered ourselves for it. So the classic thing in Qigong is the 3 regulations. So regulating the body means you relax the muscles, you relax the tissues. So muscle relaxation from head down to feet is how it's usually done. So you could spend 10 minutes doing this if you wanted. Or maybe you just usually have your shoulders up or tense belly or something, and so you just relax it. You can go as deep as you want with that. But it also means aligning. So part of the alignment is, are you leaning a little bit? And especially when we go to the next move, you can really check alignment. But you want to be equal left and right. And you want to be equal forward and back. So as much as you can, try to be equal. And if it's hard to do it with the feet close together, they can be a little farther apart. They can even be shoulder width if that's comfortable for you, however it works. So we want to align front and back, left and right. And we also vertically. So that means opening the joints vertically, especially the spine. So just letting your spine kind of relax upward. In Tai Chi, they talk about a pulling on your head upward. It's kind of weird, but it works. And when you're aligned left and right, front and back, and have an opening there, part of what you do is you bring your chin back a little bit and have your jaw, bottom of your jaw, bottom of your mandible, parallel to the floor, horizontal pretty much. And that opens the back of your neck, which is super important. I've been reading a lot about the vagus nerve lately and polyvagal theory and how important it is to open that entire neck, but especially right where the skull meets the cervical spine, which is what I've been doing for a long time on cranial work. But I realize too, you do it in these practices. So you're constantly helping your autonomic nervous system, your organs, your inner sense of peace or proper energy by opening that area. Very, 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 very helpful. In the new book I got on polyvagal theory, it talks about how much inflammation is related to the compression of the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve comes out of your brainstem, and there's two of them, one on each side, and spreads to all these different places in your torso, in your neck, and so heart, lungs, digestive organs. So many things are affected by it, are served by that nerve. And so if we can decrease our inflammation process to normal balance, then we're just going to feel way better, be more healthy. So another thing you do in Qigong, I haven't emphasized this, but talk about it now, is you put the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth. That's really, really common in Qigong lessons, and different teachers talk about different books. So here's the deal. What are you doing when you put the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth? One of the things you're doing, which I've known for a long time, is you're connecting your two central vessels, which are the governor vessel going up the back and over to the top of your mouth, and the conception vessel that starts at the bottom of the torso, perineum, and comes to the tip of the tongue. So you connect those 2 points, and it creates a circle called the small circle or the microcosmic orbit. Really important for balancing chi flow in the body. The governor in the back and part of the front is the great yang vessel of the body, and the conception is the great yin vessel of the body. And by balancing those out with each other, it helps balance the yin and yang in the body, and helps balance out all the other meridians and many other things.
Robert, this is Emily. Could you clarify, when you say put the tip of the tongue on the roof of your mouth, could you clarify where on the roof of your mouth? Is it the point of the tip of your tongue pointing to a particular place?
The simple answer is the tip of the tongue in the center of the hard palate. If you want to get more in depth, there's 5 different places representing 5 elements. Farthest back, roof of the mouth, going forward to the front of the teeth, and then even to the bottom of the teeth. But for this, it's like right in the center of your palate where it's comfortable. So it's not close to the teeth, and it's not back by the throat. And here's what I've found recently. When you put the tip of your tongue on the roof of the tongue is a muscle. It's connected to the heart energetically. It's the outer expression of the heart. When you put the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth and maybe put just a little bit of pressure, that pressure goes up into your cranium and helps open your cranial bones, your cranial sutures. So the tip of the tongue and the roof of the mouth physically helps your cranial balance so that your brain, blood, and fluids in your head have more ease of flow. So this is going to help clear your brain of toxic molecules, stagnations, tensions, just by putting the tip of your tongue on the roof of the mouth. So I learned, I don't know, intuited that if someone really went for it, they could do craniosacral therapy on themselves with their tongue by pushing in different directions to open different sutures from the inside. I've been playing with that. It's kind of fun if you know those sutures. Okay, so that's an aside. What else I want to say about that? So we're aligning. We have the tip of the tongue. Our knees are never locked, ever, for doing this form. There's always a very slight bend or a great bend, but never locked. Locking closes off, creates tension in your body and closes off flows. So it's straight but not locked. And so that's your alignment processes. Then the breathing, the second regulation. Any breathing training you have is good, just to check in with how you're breathing. But essentially, you want a long breath that's quiet and smooth, so not bumpy. It goes from your nose to your abdomen and from your abdomen to your nose. With your diaphragm doing most, if not all, of the work. So what so many people in our culture have an issue with is using the chest muscles or the shoulder muscles or the neck muscles to bring air in. So you bring air in, you tense those neck muscles. You're actually compressing your throat, compressing your thymus, compressing your trachea, compressing your esophagus, compressing your carotid vessels, jugular vessels, lymph vessels. So we want to be relaxed in our neck, in our shoulders. We don't want the breath to be like lifting the shoulders up. That creates tension. And plus the air doesn't go as far into the lungs. So as much as you can, you might practice this on its own. Belly breathing, which means diaphragm breathing. Inhale the nose. Smooth, long, and even length of time going in and out. Once we get to doing the form, at times you may breathe faster. At times you may breathe an uneven length, like breathing out a little faster. So like here, long breath, fast exhale. Long inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So it will change up a little bit because it represents the day in the life of a goose. When you're out and about in your day, sometimes you're breathing slower, sometimes you're breathing faster, sometimes you're going upstairs or going for a fast walk or something, or gardening or chopping wood, and you're breathing faster. It's normal. And sometimes you're really relaxed and you can breathe slow and easy and deep. So that's regulating the breath. Just to deepen your ideas about that. And regulating your mind means that when we do Qigong, we're using our consciousness. We're using our mind. So we want to be present. We want to be globally aware. Front of our body, back of our body, top of our body, bottom, inside out. And we want a little extra focus on Dantian. We quiet our mind. Then we step out to starting posture. We weight on one leg, right leg. And weight on left leg. We recheck our alignment. Left and right, front and back, tallness, internal tallness. And when we do that, from the tip of your ears, if you follow your fingers up right to the top of your head, that's the top point on your body, the top acupuncture point. It's where the seventh chakra goes in, but it's also it's called the Baihui, B-A-I-H-U-I, or 100 meetings place. So that's like our star point. We connect to the sky. And the bottom of our torso, right in our perineum, right in the center. So this is a master yang point, top yang point of the torso head. Right here on the perineum is the master, I don't know if that's the exact term, but the yin point, very important yin point. And that is CV1 or Ren 1 or Hui Yin, H-U-I-Y-I-N. So what we do is we connect those 2 points through the center of our body. We feel that they're connected with a tube, like a little tube, maybe an inch in diameter, maybe smaller, something like that. This is an energetic tube of awareness and consciousness that we usually call a Tai Chi pole. So it's like a skinny barber pole inside of you. So if you're leaning forward, that tube gets pressed forward. If you're pretty straight, that tube is pretty straight. And so that's an internal channel, sometimes called the Qigong channel, of connection. And that's really important because when we do turning things, we want to turn our body around that pole. Turn our torso around that pole. Rather than just kind of compress and twist it. I mean, sometimes we're bending and stuff, but that is a thing a lot of people focus on. It's really good to focus on. And then we have our arms open. This opens the armpits. Heart 1 is in the armpit, so it's really good for your heart. Right in the center. And what also is in the center are all these lymph nodes, or all around the center, all these lymph nodes in the armpit, called axillary lymph nodes. By opening those lymph nodes, we help our chest. Women help their breasts, our back, much of our ribs, heart, lungs, and even our arms. The lymph and the blood flows better when we're like this. We have eggs in their armpits, it's called, eggs in the armpits. So that's one of the things you're doing with that. And if you can't go, that's too much, you can do it from here. You can just be more relaxed and just think about where the ring fingers comes down. Lao Gang. I learned from one of my first Qigong teachers, this is what I got confused about. Oh, sorry, I got that wrong, where the middle finger comes down. Where the ring finger comes down is the actually deepest place in the palm. So I'm still not entirely sure from a Taoist arts, Qigong arts, if that isn't also correct for the Lao Gang. Because King Cohen, one of the great teachers, talks about how the Chinese medicine principles aren't always the same as the folklore principles of the long-term history of Qigong and Taoism. So, not entirely sure yet if that doesn't work too, the palm chakra. But anyway, the actual PC8 is where if you make a fist, where does that middle finger go to? So you can just line that up with right in here behind the greater trochanter, the hard part here in your side. So your leg, right, line up there. So these first 3 moves, I have a bunch more information, there'll be less information as we go on. You connect, when doing this, opens the lung points, and especially So lung points are in the groove here, next to your shoulder, lung 1 and 2. And then on the center of the clavicle is the chirpan point, stomach 13. And we're really opening that. We open that a lot in wild goose. So this opens and then it goes down to that hip point, helps open the legs. So stomach 13, hip, legs open. Down the legs, it goes to between the balls of the feet, the 2 balls of the feet, and a little bit lower is a little space. That's our bubbling spring, kidney 1, bubbling well. So I find myself sometimes being too flat-footed when I'm doing the form, and I'll just lift my arches a little bit on my foot, on my feet, shift a little bit. And when you do that, you're a little more springy. You have all this energy coming into the bottom of your foot. If you kind of flatten, it's harder for that energy to get in there. It's like a swampy feeling. You kind of give that springiness like a lion, like a cougar, mountain lion, opens up. So that's what you're doing there. All that stuff. This is recorded, so you can repeat it, and we're going to type it out. And there's more, but that's enough. When we go to the next movement is spread wings, and then following that is closed wings. Spread wings, you bend forward at the waist, you come forward on the toes. So this starts the rocking. There's a lot of rocking in Wild Goose Qigong, and especially in the first 64. The rocking balance, this is your front and back chi, and roots your energy down. So you're on the earth, not floating above the earth. And then by doing that, it relaxes your body. So we rock gently forward, bend forward, and if you're comfortable with it, you can go all the way down below the knees. You have like a big beach ball of chi in your hands. You're connecting to the earth and the vibration of the earth, the chi of the earth, and the yin power of compressing inward. So that's yin, gravity. And then as you come up, you stay on your toes a little bit. You look up. When you look up, you still have a curve. It's a big ball, but it's a curve of your arms. It's not a wide stretch. That creates a lot of more tension in here. So it's a stretch, but it's a curvy stretch. And your palms face the sky and receive the star energy, sky energy, Jupiter and Saturn conjunction energy, whatever you want. So you've got the earth in your palms, then you receive the heaven in your palms, and then you come forward, now you're on your heels. Now you're on your toes and your heels, so now you're centered on your feet. And your wings open. They're open at the sides as you put energy into your dantian. So when you receive energy in the wild goose, your hand is slightly cupped. And when you receive in your palm, and when you send energy from your hand slightly opens. So receiving energy is like catching a ball. You have to close on it. And giving energy is like throwing the ball. You have to open your hand. So it's not a lot, but there is this kind of breathing almost motion of your hand. Anytime in the form that you can think about it, you can be doing this. It's like, am I receiving or giving at this point? Sometimes you're doing both, so it's just balanced. So what Paul Lee said was, my teacher Paul Lee, that the normal hand in Wild Goose is like resting on a counter, resting on a table. Kind of soft, kind of relaxed, but it does do different things within that. Okay, throwing lots of information at you. Spread wings, toes, open. This opens the center of the chest point, receiving your palm, opens the CV23. So opens your throat right above this little tiny bone called the hyoid, right at the top of your throat below your chin, according to Paul Lee. And because you're slightly on your toes, it opens your kidney 1. This opens your back. Fold nest, your palms are facing, so by folding nest, energy rises to stomach 13, right below the clavicle. Turn your hands over to face forward. When you turn your hands over to face forward, this point right in the side of your hand by your index finger, Hegu point, large intestine 4, faces stomach 13. When you push out, it's like stretching a line between stomach 13 and Hegu. So you come up, turn over, connect Hegu, stomach 13. And right towards the end, fingers point forward. Big chi ball coming up, turn over, push the chi ball forward. Now, the chi ball becomes 2 chi balls. It's a part of fold nest. Center of palms, Hegu, to stomach 13, fingers forward, slightly curl. Curl more, curl more. Now, fingers are together. For the next move, because the fingers are together, we create this chi space in our hand. And then we put our fingers onto the bladder, onto our kidney point. We'll talk about it more later, running out of time. And it sends energy through there. My finger coming through like energy being pressed like a tube, toothpaste tube, into your kidney chi. Then we come up on our toes, connect if it's comfortable. If not, you can do it like that. Or if you can't come on your toes, just go forward a little bit. And then as best as you can, you wrap at the level of the belly button, you wrap around. It's like you're gathering some rocks that don't belong in there and then throwing them out. So your hands are level of the belly button and the fingers are a little lower. Or you're rolling marbles fast out of your hands. You don't want those marbles in there. So that's usually a fast exhale. Okay, we're about out of time. I figure 9 o'clock. Throwing a lot of stuff at you. Do a close. So, not overwhelming, is it?
Question, Rob,
Yes.
when we're in the beginning, when we're opening wings and you say you're on your toes, are your heels actually raised or are you more leaning forward and weighted on the toes? You know, in the beginning, when you do this.
Ideally, in a perfect world, your heels are raised.
Okay,
If that's if you watch the video of Master Chen, he doesn't raise his heels. But I think he probably did when he's younger because that's how I was taught by both Michael and Paul. And I've read about it in other places. So it just depends where you are in your ability to do that. There's a couple things I can't do yet or ever, have never been able to do in the form. One of them is to close your eyes on the very last movement, second to last movement. I always lose my balance. So maybe someday I'll get it. Let's see. So next class is January 22nd. Make sure you put that on your calendar. I'll get this video made up today or tomorrow and the link sent out. There's one. Oh, let's see. 14, 13, 27, 37, 42. I'm well on my way. I've done 42 reps this month to get to my 64. I did 5 Sunday and 5 Monday. And Paul Lee said, don't do more than 5. And then like last week, Thursday and Friday, I was really tired. It was day 7 and 8 of our bone broth diet fast that we were on. And I was just tired and I didn't feel like doing it. So, and I caught up. I'm ahead of the pace. So I just want to encourage you to do whatever you had agreed with yourself to, however many practices you want to do. So the best thing to do is probably what we did just now, the new stuff, the new additions to the moves. Do those a few times for a couple days, 3 days, and then also do the form once or twice. Okay, thank you so much. Oh, anything else?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I feel goosier every day.
All right.
When I go and do other Qigong movement flows, it is just monumentally enhanced with all the aspects of this learning, this such focus that we've had.
Wonderful.
Goose week after week.
There's so many lessons in it that you can apply to other Qigong and other things. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Happy
I'd like to say
holidays
something.
to you and Cassie.
What's that?
Happy holidays to you and Kathy and to all our classmates.
Thank
Be
you. Happy
safe
holidays.
And be well.
And I'd like to, Emily left, but if you could relay to her how grateful I was to receive all the notes that she made of all the classes. Can you let her know?
I'll let her know.
Thank you.
She's about done with the other one. But she's got a new, she's kind of busy right now. So I might help her finish it. I think she got 4 or 5 of the other ones done. And then I'll get that to you.
Hey, Robert, with doing the plum blossom going back and that energy, would that work well on my SI joints that are giving me so much problem? Putting it there, putting energy into the SI?
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay. And maybe rubbing even?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd probably work.
Okay.
Put some energy.
Tapping helps too.
Tapping, getting the energy moving, stuck, adding some fresh energy. Maybe working with qua rocking would help too.
Yeah, I've been doing tons of that.
Oh, good. And then doing the part about raising your arches on your feet.
Okay.
That'll bring up the earth energy to support the sacrum.